Hey Glam Squad, it's Cindy and welcome back. I have empties for you because while the last year and a half, maybe it's been longer, I don't know. While for the last year and a half, everybody has been sheltering in place, staying indoors more. I know we're recently kind of going back out, but before that, like nobody was wearing makeup. I was doing my makeup every day. And if you follow us on Instagram, then you know I was doing like a palette challenge where I was trying to do my makeup every day and make sure it always looked good. So all that to say, I went through a lot of makeup and I'm here to tell you guys all about it. So if you like empties, stay tuned, we're getting into it. I got a lot of skincare in here too because more than even makeup, I kind of really honed in my skincare regime over the pandemic. So first thing, I'm so disappointed to even tell you guys about good products that are not making anymore, but this e.l.f. Hydrating Water Essence. It is amazing. I love this stuff. It's an essence, so it's supposed to be like completely liquid like water. You know, have you ever seen those essences? But this had almost like a thicker consistency. It felt almost like a really light gel. It was so refreshing for the skin and it felt very moisturizing. So if you have dry skin like myself, this felt great. I know Monique liked this also. The problem is e.l.f. isn't making anymore. Thanks, e.l.f. Whatever. Okay. Hailey's is a beauty brand that is, I know they have it at Target because I remember Tati talking about this brand on her like Target haul or whatever. But I ended up having a sale during last year sometime and I bought their couple of things that was like a bundle. And one of the things I got was their Retouch Perfecting Powder, Loose Setting Powder. It was fine. It, you know, it was this is 0.75 grams, 0.26 ounces. It was nothing special. It did what powder is supposed to do. It set my foundation, kept me fine. I just feel like the problem with this is going to be getting it. Even if this powder was fantastic, it's hard to find. It's not available in every Target, so you have to buy online. And I just feel like there are equally as good powders at Target. This product, however, the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin. This was a powder foundation. When I tell you I use this every day, I use this bad boy every day. When I really started getting into makeup, I wore MAC. I wore the MAC powder foundation. It was my favorite. It was I went through 20 of those. No, I used to go through like 1 or 2 a month and I wore that thing for like 6 or 7 years. So when I say I went through a lot, I went through a lot. I have a very discerning palette when it comes to powder foundations. I can't say that about everything, but I can say that about this. This stuff is fantastic if you want a full coverage. This stuff has really great coverage, so you can use it lighter if you don't need full coverage. But if you want something to cover up your skin, but in a hurry, because this is one step, with this, I don't need a powder. And I will say sometimes powder foundations look really nice. I was listening to a makeup person like in the industry and she was talking about the makeup they did on that TV show on Netflix, Bridgerton. I didn't watch it, but that's not the point. She said that they used powder foundation on all the girls because it just kind of made it look like you could still see kind of like, this is gonna sound gross, like the hair on their skin, but it just looked a little more natural. Briogeo Don't Despair Repair Strength and Moisture Leave-In Mask. It was fine, nothing special. I don't ride or die for leave-in conditioners. I always use one, so I should preface by saying I do use a leave-in conditioner after I get out of the shower and I've washed my hair. My first step is a leave-in conditioner. My second step is mousse, then gel, then hair, whatever, the whole 9 yards. So I do use one, but I guess I don't know that one is better than the other. Maybe I haven't used a holy grail. I don't know. I hear this stuff is expensive. I got this like I think in a sample box. Maybe the Allure monthly box, I think. I don't remember. I just know I didn't pay for this. And it was good. But I don't know if I buy it. Enough said. All right. MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus. It's a known product. Everybody knows about this. I'll tell you what makes this setting spray nice. It doesn't have staying power. This will not make your makeup last longer. This is not going to give you your face longevity. What this does have is glycerin in the product. That glycerin acts like almost, this is going to sound terrible, like a breakdown. It doesn't break down your makeup, but what it does is it kind of, when you've done a really heavy face of makeup and you want to spritz down your face and you want it kind of to melt together, you want that powder to sink into the skin, into that foundation, so you kind of just look a little more flawless and not so like heavily done. This stuff is your best friend. If you're someone like me who's willing to use 2 setting sprays, because if I've overdone it, I'll use this one and then I'll spray a setting spray that has longevity. I'm sure I have it in here. This is great. Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. Fantastic. Can't say enough about this. Monique loves it. I love it. It's so good. It's a little more, I'm pretty sure I could probably scrape some out of here. It's a little more like liquidy, if that kind of makes sense. But boy, does it cover everything, and it doesn't ever look heavy on the skin, which is what I think it makes it so special. It's really nice. I'm gonna repurchase it. Loved it. Oh yeah, and I've repurchased already another Fix Plus. Oh my gosh, I had totally forgotten about this. This is how long ago I used this. Okay, Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent Powder. This bad boy is, man, it says it's 20 grams of product. This had a lot of product in it, yo. I mean, look at, it's the size of my hand. This lasted forever. The positives of this, the shade range is impeccable. Wet n Wild does a great job finding shade range. I know that Monique and I both use the Photo Focus foundation, and both of us don't have a problem finding our shade range, even though we're on opposite ends of the makeup spectrum. This is really nice. The only thing I'm going to say about it is it's really drying. I know that sounds dumb because it's a powder, so of course that's what it's supposed to do. But you know how there are some powders that kind of, like they set the makeup, but they don't dry you out too much? This one kind of dries you out. But if you're oily, I think you'd like this. I can't believe it's as cheap as it is, because I really want to say, I think this is like $1.99. I don't know how Wet n Wild does it, because for the price, it's amazing, because I have another powder. It's so small though. Okay, so this was the sample size that I bought when I bought the full size. This is the Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder. It is ethereal. You guys, this powder's amazing. This is definitely worth a purchase. If you're looking for a powder that makes you look, okay, I'm a big believer in powder. So maybe we're not on the same page. I don't know if you're a powder user or not. I don't know who's watching this, but if you're watching this and you like powder, all powders are not made the same. Obviously, I've just had a stack of 3 powders right here. This powder though, it really does make you look ethereal. It sets in such a beautiful way. It's not too drying. It looks flawless. Powder is what gives you that airbrush look. I think people confuse powder thinking, oh, if I pour too much powder, it's gonna look like I'm wearing too much makeup. False. That is false advertising. It is fake news. I'm here to tell you the truth. Powder really does make you look finished and set, and it can make you look flawless. That's why you have to be careful with it, because if you put too much, you look a little too flawless and then you're looking crazy. But this Too Faced powder, Born This Way, Ethereal, everything, I'll have a list below. It's good. Guys, I told you I went through a lot of makeup. I've already talked about this foundation before. It's the Glamoflauge Full Coverage foundation by Hard Candy. You can buy this at Walmart. It's fantastic. I love it. It has a terrible shade range. I'm just going to tell you right now. I think there's only like 16 colors in this. It's so bad Monique won't even buy it to try it, which hurts my heart, because I love this foundation and I think she would like it too. You won't like this if you have dry skin. I don't have dry skin, but I love it anyway, and I kind of just like make it work, because sometimes it can dry me out a little bit, so I tend to wear it more in the summer. But I love this. It's full coverage and it doesn't take a lot of product, and it's cheap. I think it's only like $6 or $7. Another powder. Guys, I think it's because these are like the sample size, and I was trying to kind of finish up some like sample products I had. But this is the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. I want to say Monique ride or dies for this. I do not. I think it's just okay. Nothing special. You can get the same thing from Maybelline Fit Me. I know, don't at me, people. If you like this stuff and if you ride or die for it, awesome. But powder is like a personal thing, just like foundation. I don't think there's anything special about this powder. Guys, you are never going to believe the next product I finished. A highlighter. So I finished the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Press in Moonstone. So this is a very, very light. Guys, can you believe that? This is like a very, very light highlighter. It's like super white. I don't even know if it's gonna show, but I'm gonna try and. It's gorgeous. Becca makes fantastic highlighters. It's too bad they're going out of business because they really did make an amazing highlighter. But I finished this, yo. I'm pretty proud of myself. Although it was one of the very first highlighters I ever got. So continuing on the Wet n Wild train, Primer Base Du Teint CoverAll. It's a primer. It worked great, especially for the price, because I want to say this was like $1.99 too. I remember really liking it, but I didn't repurchase it. So go figure. I mean, it's probably one of those things like I would if I was buying Wet n Wild stuff, but I haven't bought any in a while because I'm still trying to work through like 4 foundations, Wet n Wild foundations I bought a couple years ago because I just went crazy. MAC concealer. My sister-in-law gave this to me, Lynette. Thanks, Lynette. But I finished it. Also, it was a little bit dark on me. MAC makes great complexion products. So this concealer is great, covers you up, does all that. I tended to use this on my face a lot, and I used it a couple times as foundation, and it worked great that way. So if you're somebody who likes to use a concealer as a foundation, you might want to try that one. Trestique Line Sharpen Smudge Eye Pencil Centauri Black Sand. This was just okay. It smudged a little too easy in my opinion, and it broke. So I didn't get to really use it very much because it broke off. And then I tried to use it even broken because I'm that girl that like I'll still use it broken. I don't care. I die for makeup. But it was hard to use once it was broken. So I'm like, oh well, you get tossed, and that gets to be your critique. Trestique. Ooh, that kind of rhymes. The e.l.f. Superhydrate a Moisturizer with Hydrating Squalene. This is fantastic. So this has a gel-like consistency. Yeah, I don't have, there's no more literal. Oh, look, okay. Can you kind of tell like let me see if I can. You see how it's kind of like, that looks like a dead insect. That's a terrible shot, but it's kind of has that like consistency of like a gel, and it just melts into the skin so nicely. I use this as my last step moisturizer in the evening, so I really liked this, and I felt like moisturizers sat really well on top of it and underneath it. So if you're like somebody who likes to kind of use a couple of like serums and then maybe do different moisturizers, like a gel one and then like a creamier one, this, you might like this. But honestly, you like this even if it's by itself. I really liked this. I felt like it really did quench the skin. Can't say enough, it was good. This is the Lancome Advanced Génifique Hydrogel Melting Mask. Sounds so fancy. I think I got this during the Sephora sale because somebody on YouTube had said it was amazing. Yeah, it was okay. It was nothing special. I think at the time I was using another Lancome skincare product. Do I have it here? I didn't save all of my stuff. Empties. Some stuff I just forgot about, so I was throwing it away, and then I'm like, oh, I should be saving this for an Empties. So I might have thrown it away, whatever it was I was using. If I can remember, it'll be right there. But so I bought this as maybe like an accompaniment, but I didn't think it was anything special. And I think I remember thinking this was kind of expensive because I only bought the one. Revlon Prime Photo Ready Prime Plus Perfecting and Smoothing Makeup and Skincare Primer. This is complex infused with vitamin B5 and hyaluronic acid. It was just okay. I'll tell you what's nice about this. It's supposed to be hydrating and like pore filling. I didn't find that to be the case. I didn't feel like it was hydrating. It was definitely pore filling. It had that kind of silicone like texture. Maybe if I take the, oh, see again, kind of, it had that gel, hair gel like kind of thicker consistency, so it definitely felt like it filled in pores. I didn't really felt like it filled in pores. Like on top of this, I would use another fill-in primer. And it says it's perfecting and smoothing. It was just okay. And I didn't really feel like it was super hydrating. So if you like that gel like silicone filling from the Smashbox, you might actually like this one. Eyeko London liquid eyeliner. This dried up super fast. It gave a nice fine line. It was fine, but I feel like it dried out really quickly. I think I bought this on Amazon, or I got it in BoxyCharm, I can't remember. It was just okay. I mean, it's a black eyeliner, liquid eyeliner. It worked. It gave you a line. It was fine. I just feel like it ran out really quickly. So it's your money. Use it how you want. Okay, this I definitely got in a sample box. Hey honey, good morning. Honey Silk Facial Serum. This felt really nice on the skin. It felt like one of those, like, also like a silicone like primer, but this felt more like makeup primer than it felt like a serum. Like, I don't feel like this did anything good for my skin, if that makes sense. So I put it on because I had it and I used it and I finished it up. I can't even get any out. Sorry, I tried. But it was just okay. I mean, I don't even know what this cost because, like I said, I got it in a box. But I did feel, I don't know that it felt like I got good high skincare properties out of it. So obviously I will not be repurchasing. Oh, another, as you can tell, skincare was abundant. e.l.f. Holy Hydration. And you have to say it like that because it's got the exclamation mark. e.l.f. Holy Hydration face cream, fragrance free, with hyaluronic acid and peptide complex. This is a creamy look. I literally have nothing to scoop out. This was a creamy, so this was, and so I was using these in tandem because I felt like this was like that creamy and this was like that gel, and I used them together and they were nice. I don't think you need both. One is more than fine. So what I ended up doing is I switched this to be my morning moisturizer, especially in the winter when it was really, like, my skin gets really dry. I was switching to this. I think these are both great. And I highly recommend both of them, but they're different. I would say this is better for somebody with oily skin and this is better for somebody with dry skin. But I actually have dry skin and I like them both, so you be the judge. And since they're not very expensive, you could probably try it out and see if you like it. I finished the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. It was just okay. It was nothing special. People like die for this. I hear all the time on YouTube people talking about, like, this is the best primer and like it really grips their makeup and helps them. I didn't break me out. A lot of people complained that this made them break out. There must be something in it. I don't really struggle with that. I don't really get a lot of breakouts, so I don't really have to worry too much about that. I deal with dry skin issues. I don't really have breakout issues. It was just okay. I mean, I wouldn't repurchase it. And I think that's purposely why I bought the small one, because I went to Sephora and I bought this and I remember thinking, don't buy the big one in case you don't like it. And I'm glad I didn't, because, well, it's kind of expensive to me for a primer that basically was just okay. If I'm gonna pay that kind of money, you better rock my world. Okay. All right. e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer Satin Finish. This is the Hydrating Camo Concealer. It's amazing. I only have one in here, but I know I've gone through 2 of these bottles. I've already repurchased and I'm working on my 3rd. Love it. Works great. Doesn't crease. This was one of the very first concealers I ever used that didn't crease on me. I was shocked. I was shook. Isn't that what the kids say nowadays? And it's got the nice big doe foot one. I know it doesn't look like it's empty, but guys, seriously, there's nothing in here. I really tried. It is concealing. It covers everything. It covers even your grandma's imperfections. It will cover you for real, and it won't crease. So, well, at least it didn't on me. I can't speak that for everybody because everybody's got different skin types. But I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. Definitely would purchase. And honestly, at this price point, even if it doesn't work for you, it's not very expensive for you to give it a shot. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Okay. This is the Anastasia Dark Brown Dip Brow Gel. So you know how Anastasia sells the little glass containers with their brow gel, and you dip into it? This is basically that into a brow, thing, a brow spoolie. I hated this. I don't feel like it applied very well, and it gave you color. It definitely gave you coverage, but not in a good way. It was hard to brush out. I did not enjoy this. Definitely did not repurchase it. However, this next Anastasia product it's rubbed off, guys. That's how I use this thing to death. Look at how empty this bottle is. This is the ANASTASIA Tinted Brow Gel. Now, this doesn't give you as much coverage as this, but it keeps your, it's a gel. It basically keeps your brows in place, and it adds a little bit of color at the same time. Now, in fairness, I have naturally a lot of brows, so I don't need a lot of brow help, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So this was perfect for me because all I wanted was just a little bit of tint to kind of fill in the little gaps. And if I ran this through with the color and the brow gel, it would set them and add color. It was like a one and done. This is literally my brow step routine. If I'm not doing my full brows, which I like to do if I can, I like to kind of use the pencil and fill it in lightly and then use a clear brow gel. But if I'm in a hurry, which is, who's never not in a hurry in the morning? Like, seriously, if you are not in a hurry in the mornings, please comment below and tell me how that is possible. But for most of us, I think we are in a hurry, so we kind of like, this is a two-stepper. It's my gel and my color all in one. I have obviously ever purchased it, and actually this is like my third because I had bought one before this one. So this, no. This one, yes. You thought we were done with powders though, weren't you? We're not. Okay, this is the last powder though. This is the Pat McGrath Labs Light Skin Fetish Sublime Setting Powder. This stuff is super fine. It is like fairy dust fine. This is magical under your eye. When I set my concealer with this bad boy right here, it's magic. Nothing ever creases. It's perfect. I love it. My friend Veronica turned this on to me. Thanks, Ronnie. Ever since then, I've definitely repurchased, and I'm actually gonna finish the one I've repurchased since this one, and I will repurchase again. Thank you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Yeah, this is fantastic, guys. If you struggle with creasing, with your concealer creasing, I highly recommend this Pat McGrath Skin Fetish. I don't know what it's called. It's just powder. It's my under eye powder. That's what I call it. And I'm pretty sure that's what it was specifically designed for. This isn't light. They do have colored ones though, so you can get one that's better suited to your skin tone. I feel like the light is kind of just like translucent. So for me, it's perfect. Kind of is invisible. I love it. Can't speak enough of it. Obviously, I've repurchased. Will keep repurchasing forever. Sugar Mint Rush Freshening Lip Treatment. Why did I think that was going to say refreshing? Anyway, I finished it. I even dug into like with my finger to get it out. I really liked this. The problem is I bought it in like a sample pack during the Sephora sale, or maybe during the holiday sale when they sell those little packs. They make a lot of these, but they usually come tinted. The reason I like this one the most is because it was a clear one, so I'd use this at night. I don't really enjoy the colored ones, which is why this one finished first. And I haven't worked through all the colored ones. They don't have a lot of color. Like I have one right here so I can show you guys. But I like my lip balms to be clear. And see how this has like tint to it. It's almost like a nude. So it's fine. It works. But I prefer my lip balms to be colorless. We're colorblind here. Free your mind. The rest will follow. Be colorblind. Don't be shallow. Drunk Elephant B-Hydra Intensive Hydration Serum. This stuff was nice. It's obviously got literally no more. I mean, that's my biggest beef with Drunk Elephant. Isn't even how expensive they are. It's that you don't know when you're about to finish until you pump and there's no more. So you kind of always have to just like buy when you think it's getting lighter. I want to say it lasts me 3 to 5 months in that range, depending on how much I pump, if I do 1 pump or 2 pump. It's like a gel-like consistency. It's very nice. I like that it's kind of light. This goes in my serum section of my skincare because I do serums first and then obviously I finish with a moisturizer. I really liked it. I don't know that it's like the bee's knees, but it feels nice, so I bought it again. I'm in the hunt though. So if you guys know another serum that you guys really like, comment it below so I can go and check it out. And I'll tell you guys all about it. Very last product. This is the Catrice Cosmetics HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. Lasts up to 24 hours. It's mattifying, second skin effect. Tati just reviewed a Catrice foundation. Monique told me she bought it. She loves it. and like this was recent, you know, because Tati's just come back to the internet. And she's talking about this one and everybody's going out to buy it. And I'm like, dude, this is the one where it's at. I love this stuff. Man, I dug down deep to finish this. When I finished it, I was so sad. It's like a gel. It's definitely very liquidy. I don't know if you can see it. It's gonna drop like super, super liquidy. So it gets kind of messy, but I couldn't believe how much coverage there was for such liquid drops. It's kind of like, I guess it would be considered maybe a serum style foundation. I loved this stuff, man. It would cover and quick. Because it's liquidy, you would think that turned you off, but it doesn't. I know Catrice makes a lot of good complexion products, and I know that because everybody's dying for that other one. Am I going to try it? Heck yes I am, because I love foundation, obviously. It is mattifying, so if you're oily, you might like this. If you're dry skin, you will love this. Unless you don't like mattifying. I'm not, but I didn't really feel like it was mattifying. Maybe it was. I put powder on stuff anyway, so I guess it didn't really matter. But I loved this. Have I said it? I loved it because I really liked it. Don't you hate that the English language only has one word for adore? I loved this, but I also loved pizza and I love my mom. Go figure. I adored this foundation, and that is my last empty. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed seeing all the stuff I used. Like, I love at watching Empties videos. I think After Favorites, they're my favorite video because somebody has used this product completely, so they know whether they like it or not. So I feel like when they speak about it, they can speak to it with some authority. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're staying safe, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.